Okay, in today's episode, we're going to focus on health education and personal hygiene.
We've heard a lot about the coronavirus recently, but what is a virus really? Viruses are submicroscopic organisms found almost everywhere on Earth. They can infect anything, from animals to plants to fungi to bacteria. Sometimes viruses cause deadly disease. Other times they trigger no reaction at all. Diseases caused by viruses include rabies, herpes, Ebola, and COVID-19, to name a few. Viruses are very, very small, just a millionth of an inch, some 10,000 times smaller than a grain of salt. Since they come in many different shapes and sizes, none of them work in exactly the same way. Of the millions of viruses that occur in nature, only a very small number of them have the ability to do us harm. Even though viruses vary in complexity, they all consist of genetic material, RNA or DNA, packaged together with proteins and surrounded by a lipid membrane. Viruses dock onto the surface of cells and trick the cell into letting them in. Once inside, the virus hijacks its host, forcing the cell to make more virus copies. Since viruses cannot replicate without a host, they are often referred to as parasitic. While good medications to treat virus infections exist, vaccines have proven successful in stopping viruses from spreading.
Okay, everyone, having established properly what a virus is, now let's have a quick look at the United States of America and how they help Africa generally and the world at large combat viruses.
1.4 billion people. We have 350. Nobody knows what we have because so many people came in illegally. But let's say we have 325. They had 1.4 billion. They were paying 39 million. We were paying 500 million. It seemed a little unfair to me. So that wasn't the reason, but I dropped out.
In our
Sadly,
next
here
story,
are the dire situations that countries have found
the Federal
themselves in
Executive
as the
Council
US pulls
has
out from
approved
the
4.5
WHO.
billion naira to procure about 15,000 HIV treatment packs for Nigerians that are living with the virus. Now, this is coming after the US government granted an emergency waiver, lifting its recent pause on HIV treatment funding for developing countries, including Nigeria. It's no secret that Nigeria has long depended on international aid and the US government's global HIV/AIDS relief program, PEPFAR. Now, with this approval, the government aims to ensure continued access to life-saving treatment for those in need. Now, the coordinating Minister of Health and Social Welfare of Nigeria, Mohammed Ali Pate, has said that his administration's priority is to make sure that there are no interruptions to the healthcare of people who are living with the HIV virus. I'd love to take some social commentary. Wisdom says, suddenly, leaders of nations are taking up their abandoned responsibilities because of Trump's policies.
Well, what's going on right now? I am happy that the federal government, that's the Nigerian government, is stepping in to close in the gap, or to close up the gap that has been created by Trump's suspension of the aid. I hope that these monies are judiciously used for those who really need them. That's the bottom line for me.
Right, so congratulations to Nigeria. The federal government is waking up. And I would also say Trump suspending everything. I just feel Trump is overrated with some of the things that he's doing.
He's not.
Because if we
Overrated or not, these drugs are vital for reducing people's viral loads, especially
Do you
expecting
know
parents.
there's a way that a person living with HIV won't pass the virus to their partner through sex? This is possible when the person achieves U equals U. U equals U stands for undetectable equals untransmittable. It is a scientifically proven fact that if a person living with HIV takes their medications every day, just as the doctor prescribes, the virus goes to a level that is so low that HIV can no longer be detected using standard viral load test. When a person's viral load is undetectable, it is absolutely impossible to pass HIV through sex. Now, HIV medications is not a cure for HIV. It helps to manage and control HIV, but only if taken as prescribed by a doctor. This means that if a person is not taking their medication every day, or maybe stops taking it altogether, the HIV will replicate within the body again, and they will be able to pass it to another person through sex. But this is still amazing because this was not possible many years ago.
This message is brought to you by the Federal Ministry of Health through a partnership between Nigeria and the American people through PEPFAR.